Hi, this is Isabel from the Idea Center. Today we are going to be making a tic-tac-toe board on our laser cutter. To start, grab an Idea Center laptop, open up Tinkercad, and create a new 3D design.
Before starting your design, ensure that your workplace units are set to inches and that your snap grid is set to 1/8. Begin by making a cube. Set your length and width to 3.375, your height to 0.25, and your radius to 0.125. Because we will be exporting an SVG file for the laser cutter, we need to make sure that Tinkercad is creating a correct 2D model from our 3D design. Tinkercad captures 2D models at the workplane. This means that our workplane has to intersect the middle of all of our design elements. Since we will have a 1/4 inch thickness on all of our objects and our snap grid is set to 1/8, we can do this by moving each object down one step. For the next step, duplicate your square. It should already be intersected by the workplace, but if it's not, make sure to move it one step down. Our first square is going to act as the base for our board. Our second square is going to be our tic-tac-toe grid. For the slots, we're going to be using 1x1 cubes and set them to holes. Ensure that your height is set to a 1/4 inch. To align the first hole, select both objects and set the square as the alignment master. Align the hole in the top left corner and make sure that it's level with the square. Then move it one step forward and one step to the right. Duplicate the hole and make it sit at the top center of the square. Then move it one step forward. Make a third hole and align it at the top right corner of the square. Move it one step forward and one step to the left. Make your squares transparent so you can select all 3 holes and group them together. Then duplicate them, align them with the center of the square, and move them towards the left side. Select the second row and move it one step to the right. Then create a third row aligned with the bottom and left side of the square. Move it one step forward and one step to the right. Group together your square in all 9 holes to make your tic-tac-toe grid. To make the O's for the game, use the tube shape in the Basic Shapes menu and give it a length and width of 0.75 and a height of 0.25. Duplicate the O's 4 times and make sure that all 5 O's are spaced out evenly. To make the X's, I use the text function, type in X, and use the sans font. Give the X a length and width of 0.75 and a height of 0.25. Duplicate the X 4 times and evenly space out all 5 X's. With the completion of your design, make sure all objects are intersected by the workplane and export as an SVG.
To get set up for the laser cutter, select a piece of plywood. For this project, I'm using a 1/4 inch piece of plywood that is 12 inches by 12 inches. For the tic-tac-toe board, I'm using our laser cutter Big Bird. Turn the machine on and make sure that you turn on the exhaust. Place the piece of plywood inside the machine and set your Z-axis using the 3D printed guide. Next, set your origin at the top right of your plywood. Open up Lightburn on the laser cutter laptop. Import your SVG. Your design will most likely open with fill mode selected. Select all design elements and change your mode to line. Because SVGs don't necessarily keep aspects of your original design, make sure that your dimensions are set to what they were in Tinkercad. Once you've finalized the design, use the power and speed guides on the laser cutting cart to decide what settings you want to use. With my piece of plywood, I'm using a speed of 10 and a power of 50. Next, send your design to the machine. Before starting the cut, press box to make sure that your cut will remain on the plywood. Once you've boxed your design, close the machine door and press start. Make sure you monitor your cut. Once your cut is complete, remove them from the plywood and lightly sand each component. Now we are ready to glue. Line the tic-tac-toe grid with alternating drops of wood glue and super glue. Carefully place the grid on top of the base. Using a wet rag or paper towel, wipe off any excess glue. Then, place a weight on top of the board. Once your board is dry, make sure you sand off any remaining glue. Your tic-tac-toe board is now finished. Thanks for watching the video. For more tutorials and projects, visit the Idea Center YouTube channel.